All right, welcome kings and queens. Today we are talking Belle Collective. Listen, before I jump in, y'all, doctor, bring me the news. Who is this man? Lord have mercy. Y'all, I had to rewind and rewind and rewind. Who is this man? This is a beautiful man, and I mean that in the most heartfelt manner. Sir, damn, who are you? Y'all, this first of all, one of the, I looked at this man, I'm in my house. I'm like, let me catch up on Belle Collective, real quick so I can get some good commentary out here to the palace. Honey, I was walking out the room and I glanced up at the screen. I said, oh, no, sir. You deserve a replay. And I rewound and I looked and I said, this man is beautiful. This man is absolutely stunning. And then I thought to myself, I said, hello, is it me you're looking for? Y'all, sir, you could listen. If this were my doctor, first of all, I would not miss any appointment. I don't blame you, Accusation. I see what's going on. Accusation went back to get her blood pressure checked. I know that's right, girl. But let me push all of that aside. I was completely speechless. I was overwhelmed by just his beauty. I was taken aback. Anywho, very good looking doctor, but also I love his bedside manner because the fact that he keeps up with his patients and he knew that she went out of network to see a different doctor, I was like, check. And then, in my opinion, I'm like, this is a really good doctor. Now, this is Black excellence. This is the type of things that we need and want to see on television. And let me tell you why. This man talked to Accusation about her blood pressure. And then she talks about a little bit of anxiety. And he said, are you depressed? She's like, no, I don't think it's depression. Just a little bit of anxiety. He asked her if she would be willing or even considerate of taking meds. And she said no. And when he said, let me refer you to a therapist that I know, y'all, when it comes to, what do they call it? Triaging across the healthcare ecosystem, he did a magnificent job. Oh my God, there's a lot of doctors that will prescribe you a medication based on your symptoms and will not prefer you out to a behavioral health provider. And the fact that he closed the loop on that, I am absolutely impressed. This is absolutely wonderful. And to know that he's African American and did that, honey, let's talk about it. For those of you who are just tuned in or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the palace. I am Queen Shiba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience.
Subscribe now.
All right, so the more I watch Belle Collective and depending on the dynamics of the women, the different arrays of who's in the room, I think we have something here. I really do. I think we have something here. I think we can shuffle around a few players. And if we continue to massage the dynamics, we can come up with the perfect recipe for reality television. Let me start with Accusation. Accusation, when she's ready for television, she's compelling, physically, beautiful, but her storyline is like watching paint dry. Accusation is so underwhelming when it comes to that. And just based on her storyline and a lack of what she brings, I would be willing to trade out Accusation for someone else. With all due respect, Accusation, your blood pressure and your children are not sustainable for reality television, if that makes any sense. And I say that This is like reality television only. This has nothing to do with anything personal. It's just based on strictly reality television. Akeisha gives old soul to me. She gives old soul to me. And that's not a negative. It's just, it's not enough. It's just not enough when we think about the likes in the world of reality television. So with Akeisha, I'm not sure where to place her, but I wouldn't place her on my television screen. Sorry. And then let's move on to Tambra. Tambra production. Y'all don't know what to do with Tambra. Tambra is that girl. If you can bring it out of her. Tambra has the persona, the voice, the pizzazz, all of that. Tambra is a radio host. And y'all don't know what to do with her. You're zoning in on her love life. Don't nobody want to... Listen, this girl's a mover and a shaker. She's labeled down, beautiful, makeup on point, body is banging, all of that good stuff. Make it do what it do, production on television. So keep Tambra, but evolve. Y'all don't know what to do with her brand. And I'm not sure if you know how to position her. And I kind of feel like Tambra has been phased out a lot this season, with the exception of Marie confronting her at the smash party. But y'all can really stand to do something with Tambra, because Tambra, from aesthetics, from platform, visibility, social connectedness, Tambra is everything reality television if you know what you are doing production. So we need you to really get in there and figure this thing out. We don't need you to take the easy route when it comes to Tambra. Figure it out. Otherwise, Tambra, I think you're going to fade away into blackness. Fade into black. Yeah, that's what they call it. So let's move on to Letitia. Letitia, you got to be careful. You're playing Mother Teresa. And Mother Teresa isn't sexy. She just becomes a mother. You see what I'm saying? And we don't want you to be Mother Teresa. We want you to be this badass boss. And I know you're doing both, but you're going to have to pick a side, because I don't need you chastising LaTrice over dropping the F-bomb as a part of the storyline. You know, you call and be like, girl, it was bomb. It was a great show, but girl, don't be cursing, and you leave it alone. But it's not enough to take it on to the continuation of next week's episode. That's what I'm trying to say. So I don't want you to become Mother Hen, Letitia, but if you're not careful, they are going to typecast you into a Mother Hen type, and Mother Hens can always be replaced. So you got to be very careful on how you, your longevity, your strategy on this show. Be very, very careful, because you can still be married and sexy and a boss, but we don't need a matriarch. It's nice, but don't lean too much into that, because I see where you're going with the business and I love it. But don't be too corrective like a principal in the hallway. That part, I think you're leaning a bit too hard into that. Come out of that. Just be a friend. Without the additional one-on-one conversations and correctiveness, because these women are not your children. That's my feedback to you. I love the fact that Letitia was kind enough to check in on LaTrice. I love it, love it, love it. Sisterhood is so important. Friendship, village, community is so important whenever we're navigating difficult reality, difficult times in our lives. And LaTrice says she's not being abused, so I'm just going to leave it there. I think otherwise, just based on my observations, but she said, hey, listen, I'm okay. I'm safe. Okay, that's fine. But I just like the fact that Letitia found the courage to go to her and talk about it. And that's fine. So you got to leave it alone. You got to let it be. The part I'm talking about, Letitia, is you don't want to backdoor it again and jump on a hate LaTrice bandwagon and come back and say, but you used the F word. So we're not going to pick her apart. We're not going to pick her apart, because if anything, you can leverage your storyline with Glenn and tell us a little bit more about what you got going on, as opposed to focusing primarily on LaTrice. I'm just keeping it real, Letitia. You see what I'm saying? So don't just be very careful, because you're going to cause us to hone in on you and be like, well, what you got going on? Let's talk about your marriage. You know what I'm saying? Because the fact that you're dating Glenn and we don't know how you went to I'm leaving to I'm dating, people will start to get curious. So you really have to adapt a healthy balance with prying and poking. Now, I'm not saying that there's not an issue with LaTrice. I'm just saying, Letitia, unless you're willing to bring yours to the forefront, you may want to reconsider. Gucci, take notes. Sit back, take this pen, take this paper, and take notes. Why you hating so much, sis? There's a point where you got to hold your peace. And for the past 3, 4, 5 episodes, you ain't had nothing nice to say to LaTrice. You ain't had nothing nice to say about Selena. And you're really coming across as a hater. And I hate that for you, because it's taking away. Your haterade is overshadowing your potential on the show. Now, granted, last episode, you said that Selena and her children are jealous of you. But sweetie, that's all you talk about. So if you would like to evolve yourself past that, you got to leave LaTrice out of your storyline, and you have to be willing to leave Selena and her children out of your storyline. I do like the fact that they were able to come together in the name of community and do what they needed to do. That was great how Gucci looped it in at the end and called the kids and said, you know what, I'm so happy you're here, blah, blah, blah. That's great. But when you started that scene, it's like you didn't even want to speak to them. Now, I loved how you were able to come together and wrap it up at the end. But I don't know, Gucci. Your parking meter is about to expire. I'm not really sure if there's a fit for you on this show. So you're going to have to figure that out. I want to say congratulations to LaTrice. Yes, congratulations on being featured in over 150 stores nationwide with your edge control. That is a huge deal when it comes to Black women who are leaving corporate America and paving and carving out their own pathway, y'all. This is a big deal. So in this review, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you. I mean, not thank you. Congratulations, LaTrice. That's awesome. Y'all, let's talk about this boss and Belle empowerment. I love the brunch overall. I love the agenda. I love the intent of what Letitia is trying to do. Letitia, you're going to have to evolve your circle so that you're not picking women with your same delivery, your same story. And the reason why I came up with that, I was listening to a couple of conversations by T.D. Jakes, and it's called Disruptive Thinking. He says, when you have women at the table, not even women, he says, when you have people at the table, you need to make sure that everybody's not like you. Everybody doesn't have the same story and the same strengths as you, because if and when you do, it breeds, y'all ready? It breeds resentment and competition. And I think a lot of the women on your panel, a lot of y'all are alike. And what I would like to see is a little bit more diversity, Letitia. And I don't mean by way of race. I mean by way of personality, age group, persona, skin tone, all of that. I want to see a beautiful array where you're not competing in the same space. I didn't like the tone of it, and it could be due to production, but there were no really wow moments for me. That could be production. Let me not put that on you. That could be production, and maybe that's a conversation you want to have with production. But there were not any moments where I was like, damn, that's good. Marie was the most achieved and accomplished person on the panel. And in my opinion, that's a problem. That's a problem. Because what Marie has a very different personality, a very different approach. And if Marie is the most accomplished person, Letitia, you're in the wrong rooms. Does that make sense? You're in the wrong rooms. And I really want you to be able to expand your reach beyond your cast members, because there's a lot of dynamic African American women nationwide. So that's all I got for that with Belle Collective. Let's see, who else? Gucci. Yeah. I think you're on to something with the brunch. I know you probably have your idea, Letitia, of who you want to invite, but I hope you're open to feedback from your team when it comes to just doing something different, considering different women on a panel. A lot of times we feel like I need to know her. I need to have had an interaction with her to bring her or feel comfortable bringing her or him on my panel. Listen, that's not the case, because you don't need to know a dynamic person to invite them on your panel. Certain people can completely take it to a different level. So that's my challenge to you. That's all I have for Belle Collective. Thank you all for tuning in.